Hey, Brian.
Hey, buddy.
First take, first try. We didn't record a whole couple. Welcome back to Jump on the Bat-Wagon. This is the show where we watch through the entire DC animated universe from start to finish in the controversial air date order. To view these things, the show human, wait, I fucked up. I did it better the first time. To view these shows the way human beings experienced them in the far gone days of 1990s. I'm gonna stop there. It was better the first time. It was more natural.
Wait,
Brian did this cool thing. I did that better. What you just heard better, and then Brian accidentally deleted the whole recording.
I don't even know how. It's been a really long several days. Although the luck I've had the past how many days has it been now? What day is it?
It's been
Thursday.
It's Thursday because it's
5 days. Oh. Oh, God, need to.
Of what?
Being on the roof and fucking shit up.
Were you fighting the squirrels that are always dropping nuts on your roof?
No.
Get the fuck off my roof.
But hopefully by the end of this, the squirrels will be quieter.
Dead?
No.
No.
Just quieter.
Don't kill them. Don't kill them.
I'm a vegetarian.
Please don't kill the squirrels, Brian.
Okay.
I know you're planning on it. The hip-hop beat was spontaneous the first time, purposeful the second time, bad the third time that we're not going to do. What are we watching today, Brian? We're watching See No Evil.
Yeah.
That's what we're
this
watching.
Is one of the monkeys. I'm waiting for the monkeys.
It's the monkey title card is what your prediction was. Yeah. So, Batman the Animated Series, we're getting through it. We're in the 50s now out of 80-something episodes.
I feel 50.
55 episodes. Yeah. Thrifty 50. 55. I accidentally just copied 55. It's actually 56. Today, episode of the podcast. Welcome to it.
Nice.
Everybody, thank you. This aired Wednesday, February 24th, 1993. We skipped 0 days. 4:30 p.m. Fox. This is
Fox.
The 15th produced episode.
Oh, no.
And the 56th to air.
Jamie, I need a laugh tonight.
There's an asterisk next to 15 that we'll get to in Trivs. Because I promise it's not what you think. It's not actually the 15th produced episode.
It's 51st,
Spoilers.
Isn't it?
No.
Fuck.
We don't actually know what it is, but we'll get there.
Okay.
Anyway, written by Martin Pasco. He will come back, but this is his first episode, I think.
Hello, Martin.
Directed by Dan Reba.
Danny boy.
Dan Reba. Music by Lolita Ridmanis and Shirley Walker. Lolita Ridmanis was composer for It's Never Too Late, Eternal Youth, The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne, and Christmas with the Joker.
Wow.
And we have animation by Dong Yang with layout by Spectrum. I didn't write down the Dong Yang episodes because there are so many of them I don't want to say them again.
Think of an episode right now. It's probably that.
The Laughing Fish.
That one.
Oh, it is that.
See?
So good animation, good music, good director.
Questionable production.
We don't know the writer. Yeah. 15th, maybe?
Maybe.
Produced? Maybe. That's all I got to say. We're going to go watch the episode now. Brian's never seen it before. We're going to come back and talk about it. Yeah?
Okay.
This is a good podcast.
So good.
I like to listen to podcasts that are good like this one.
I listened to probably 6 hours of podcasts on the roof today.
Oh, nice.
It's been a cursed week.
I love it.
Okay.
I love you. I love me. I love Batman. Let's go watch Batman.
Okay, let's go watch Batman, buddy.
Let's watch Batman.
Okay.
Buddy.
Kimberly. Kimmy. Kimmy.
Mojo, you came back.
Sure, I said I would, didn't I?
Uh-huh.
Look what I got for you.
Ooh, it's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie. Now don't worry, I know that what you've really been hoping for is a pearl necklace. Well, I haven't found just the right one yet, but Mojo promises he'll bring you one next time he visits.
Oh,
Kimmy, what's wrong?
next time better be soon or you might not find us. Mommy says we're moving.
Moving?
Uh-huh. She says things will be better for us someplace else.
Kimberly? Who are you talking to?
Nobody, Mommy, just Mojo.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed him. I would have said hi.
He really was here, Mommy.
I know, honey, I know. Now go to sleep, okay?
Bom, boop, doo. Martin Pasco, Dan Reba, doo, doo, doo. That's how the song goes.
That is how that song goes.
There was an invisible man.
What? There wasn't even any monkeys.
There were no monkeys in the title card. There
Nope.
was a monkey. There was a reference to Mojo Jojo. Not really, but we can count it, right?
I thought about it.
Maybe there was a monkey in her stuffed animal collection or something. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I was. There wasn't. There wasn't a stuffed animal collection. It was just the one we kept seeing with the weird nose.
There was like a bear.
No,
Somewhere.
that was at the title card.
Yeah. What happened in this episode? See no evil. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you see the evil?
Yeah, he was invisible.
He was invisible. No.
Let me tell you what happened.
Please, God do. Yes.
God do. For the makers
Please.
of Mountain Dew.
Oh, what did Batman say? What the devil?
what the Mountain Dew?
What the heaven?
All right, we'll make this real quick because I know you got to edit this
Yes.
tonight, and it's already
I do.
getting late.
It is.
There's a shitty father, and he's got an invisible suit that he stole from a guy, and he's using it to steal stuff and fight Batman. And wouldn't you know it, he's a deadbeat dad, and he's like trying to get custody or whatever of his daughter by theft. Also,
There's a
pearl necklace.
shitty dad, and wouldn't you know it, he's a deadbeat dad.
He's a lot of things, and my brain is not a
And
working.
a terrible father. And also a bad padre. And also...
I'm trying, Jamie. Basically, a guy has an invisible suit, goes on a crime spree, tries to steal daughter. Batman foils it. The daughter's name is Kimmy. There's lots of Kimmy audio clips, and Kimmy should have been here to watch this one.
Yeah, she should have.
The end.
we should have. I should have remembered, and also she should have been home, which she wasn't.
But I think she is now.
Now, this is quite the long official synopsis, so would you like to give us some sort of beat? You probably can't do the beat. It'll fuck everything
Hold up.
right? Wait, no, don't get the flute. This doesn't make sense for flute time.
I always got stuff in my bag of tricks, you know.
What is this? A little synthesizer. This is an old-time synthesizer. Cut this part out.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to do as little that would make you have to edit more later, but alas.
No, you're not.
I
no,
am. I'm trying to speed up.
It's punishment for all the shit I make you do. It's okay.
No, I don't want to punish you.
That is quite the classic default synth beat. I'm liking this. This is like video game menu music to me. Okay, I'll have you know that some of the words in the synopsis are capitalized, so I'm like, it's the names of characters and stuff are fully capitalized. Somewhere in a middle-class suburb of Gotham, little Kimberly Ventress is regularly visited by her imaginary playmate, Mojo! However, the mysterious, unseen Mojo seems awfully tangible and vocal for an imaginary friend. At about the same time, a fortune in valuables disappears as if by magic from a gem exposition, at which Bruce Wayne is among the patrons. Patreon.com/DCAU Watchtower for more. Assuming his Batman identity, Bruce investigates and finds himself battling an invisible man. The Dark Knight's further investigation uncovers the fact that an independent optics researcher, Dr. Abner Caros, had developed what he called a cloak of invisibility, a plastic of his own invention which, when electrified by Caros' patented process, refracts light so as to make the material and anything covered by it invisible.
Whoops.
But Caros has recently died, and according to the scientist's assistant, a quantity of the special plastic is missing from his lab. The trail leads to ex-con Lloyd Ventress, who embezzled the material while working as a janitor in Caros' lab. With the purloined plastic, he has constructed a special suit as well as customized plating for his car, turning himself into an invisible man with an invisible vehicle. Upon his release from prison, Ventress discovered that his ex-wife, Helen, has gone to court. Okay, it's still going, I couldn't hear it. To cut off all visitation rights to daughter, Kimberly. And he has been secretly visiting her in his invisible state, pretending to be Mojo. As Mojo, he learned that Helen plans to move away from Gotham, taking Kimberly where he'll never see her again. Now, enriched by his invisible man thefts, Ventress contrives to kidnap Kimberly and, with his ill-gotten gains, provide for her in a manner her mother cannot. But life with a fugitive felon is no match for Helen's nurturing care, and it's up to the Batman to stop the abduction. But to do so, he must square off with a foe he cannot even see and survive a breathtaking climax that has Batman hanging on for dear life, dragged almost to his doom by a wildly careening invisible car. That's it. Good ending there.
Yeah, that's a lot for like 1986.
Do you think the breathtaking climax was the the pearl necklace?
I can't even. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Let's not even talk about that. Let's not talk about that. So, this was not a horrible episode.
This wasn't a bad episode, actually.
Yeah.
It was way more cinematographical than I was expecting it to be.
Do you need to put your keyboard away before you continue speaking?
No, I'm sure the listener wants to hear some of this like ruffling in the back. It's a very hard plastic case and a very hard plastic keyboard.
Invisible plastic?
Yeah,
it's a wonder you found the synth to begin with.
Can we like have a quick aside to the invisible suit that he has is like toxic / poisonous.
Uh-huh.
And then that's just it. They're just kind of like, it's poison. The guy's like, I don't care. And they're like, well, I guess we're going to abandon that.
Yeah, he never shows any sign. I guess you're supposed to assume that that's partially why he's like as creepy as he is that his mind's deteriorating or something, but they don't really harp on that enough. He's just kind of like, yeah, it's poison. Okay. And remember, it's poisoned. I don't care. Oh, but it's poison though. Oh, fuck. I don't give a shit.
I guess what we didn't see was the part 2 this episode that was like 6 to 8 years in the future, and he's got terminal cancer, and he's like, please let me see my daughter.
Oh.
Just saying. And then the mom's like, no, you're still a dick. I don't care if you have cancer.
He's James Woods. But he's not James Woods.
No.
But he looks like
yes. Him. It was a good episode, like it had a lot of the action, had Batman destroying the city on top of an invisible car that people somehow knew to swerve out of the way of.
There were several moments. Old Martin Pasco here writing us quite the comedic episode. I think it actually succeeded a few times in like genuine laughs from us, like not just like laughing at it being bad, but like Batman going outside and be like, "Where are you?" And then that guy eating his sandwich being like, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" Like, and the security guard waiting for the bathroom incessantly, and everyone keeps going in there before him, and then Batman just smashes the door into him.
Yeah.
Like, that was a completely unnecessary aspect, but they included it.
It started so funny. And I was like not prepared for that level of zaniness, but like maybe it helped me get into the mood to like watching cartoons or whatever. But I didn't stay that way.
No, it definitely had that peak at the start, and then a very long valley, and then another peak of Batman on top of the car flying through the city. But that wasn't even like played off like a funny joke. It was almost supposed to be serious, but I don't know how you could take that seriously. I guess they do the joke of the like homeless guy being like, "I didn't know he could fly," too, or whatever.
But that was a low joke compared to like the cop being like, "Who locked the bathroom?" It was like the person that's in there, officer. Obviously.
That was probably the person in the bathroom. Who locks a bathroom when they go in there?
Who locks a bathroom? I need to take a shit.
Don't they know security guards are people too? We all have to pee, man. And then he watches Bruce Wayne go in there and goes, "Damn it, this one-person bathroom's locked again." And then Batman comes out and he doesn't make the connection. Or maybe he does.
No, it's 3 people that know he's Batman.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I've been thinking about adding a show to our lineup. And I need the listeners' help deciding yes or no in sort of a pseudo poll type of thing. I want you to comment next time whether you think this is a good idea or not. I want to add Freakazoid to the lineup, and I can't decide whether it's a good idea. Have you seen anything of Freakazoid? Do you know what it is?
Me?
Brian?
No.
It is in the same continuity and family of shows as Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs.
Holy shit.
And it was created by Bruce Timm.
Okay.
And Freakazoid himself is like in the Bruce Timm Batman the Animated Series like art style. And B-Task Batman has a cameo in an episode. They mention other superheroes like Superman and Aquaman and stuff. It is not literally in the DCAU, but it's so adjacent. It's so close. It's like right there. But it's like the goofiest fuck. It's an Animaniacs attached show, basically. So like I can't.
Can I vote for this?
Well, if you want, see, this is the thing though. I kind of want to add it. Like I'm leaning toward adding it in because I think that you would really enjoy it. It has very like SpongeBob style humor in it. I've found. I watched it for the first time like 4 years ago, but I don't know if I want to. Like Maddie had a good point. I brought this up with them. Is dedicating like full podcast episodes like we just watched See No Evil. Do we dedicate like full podcast episodes to a Freakazoid episode, or do we just like tack on a Freakazoid episode to another podcast episode?
Why wouldn't we?
I don't know, because it's like maybe the listener. This is why I want to get the listener's input, is because maybe the listener is not interested in hearing us discuss Freakazoid, has no, emotional connection to Freakazoid the way they do these other shows. And I didn't watch it growing up, so it's not going to be the same sort of like, "Oh, Brian, I know everything about this and you don't," kind of a thing. It's just there. And I do think that you would enjoy it, and I would like to watch it with you at some point, even if we don't do it for the podcast. But I guess I just want people's input on that. So please leave.
Can you do like a
input on
poll? Can you do a poll on YouTube?
I could do, I guess I could do that on the Podtower. Hopefully I've remembered to do that if you're listening to this by the time that the episode comes out, or if it's not there now, check back a couple hours from now or something like that. But on the community tab on the Podtower, maybe I'll do a poll for whether you think Freakazoid should be part of Jump on the Bat-Wagon, because that's
amazing.
That's the thing. Okay. I was waiting for you to be all, "That's not how that works-y," about the invisible plastic, but it's such like a sci-fi thing at that point that there's no point in being like, "Actually, plastic wouldn't be invisible," or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we're getting into some of that territory. There will be a lot more of that coming up like in the rest of this podcast that you'll just probably, I'll give up at this point. I'm not going to worry about whether it makes sense or not anymore. A man can't fly and have heat vision. This is impossible.
Yeah, I think that was one of those that like from the get-go it's just like, oh, he's wearing like invisible tarp. Okay.
Yeah.
And it just...
They call it like an invisibility cloak, and then I was like, oh, this is way pre-Harry Potter, so there's no like, they're not going to make any sort of joke about that. But then there was also the like just the Invisible Man, like Universal movie monster Invisible Man that I'm sure that they pulled a lot of stuff from, because there was I think I had this in Tribs, but like the very start when you see his pav and there's the dog barking at him and stuff, there's also like some sort of movie theater that says like now playing the Invisible Man or something. Like it's like just right in the very first shot.
I didn't see that, though. I did clock the dog breaking the fourth wall, and I think that's the first fourth wall break we've had other than Batman's lazy eye in whatever episode that was.
Well, I mean, it would be if not for you then finding out that you're the Invisible Man's eyes or whatever.
Or
like he's
so that's what I thought, was that we were like just seeing it from somebody's point of view, which I think still might make that a fourth wall break. Maybe. But also like we could have been third person behind the invisible guy and you wouldn't know it.
That shot itself specifically might be POV, but then you see inside Kimmy's bedroom and the window opens. So that's not him.
This is gonna be.
We're talking about Kimmy.
I know we're gonna.
That's
always gonna be. That's always gonna be kind of strange. Like peering into Kimmy's bedroom.
Kimmy's deadbeat dad. I don't even know Kimmy's dad.
Kimmy's dad is great, actually.
Okay. Well,
he's a class.
Does he look like James Woods?
No, he looks like a male version of Kimmy, though. You kind of got to see him side by side to get what I mean. But
okay.
Yeah,
no, I won't. We just like it's like a very
Kimmy.
You're like, oh no, Kimmy, and you're just like, Kimmy. Like, I know someone named.
I've got a friend named Kimmy. Jimmy, do you want to give me some trivs?
I'll do the cast. There's a very big cast in this episode.
I don't care about that. I want trivs.
Well, it's kind of a combo platter, okay?
Okay.
You'll see what I'm saying. Kevin Conroy as Batman. Yeah? Dick Erdman as
Ephraim
Elliot.
Zimbalist Jr. No. I thought he was going to play
I don't know who
Ephraim.
Elliot is, but Dick Erdman plays a character named Leonard on Community. That was one of his bigger things.
Shit!
You know this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Community. I think Dan Harmon's an amazing writer.
Yeah, no, I love everything I've seen of it. I've just never stopped to watch the show on purpose. So
it's pretty worth it. It's aged out a bit. Like the 2009 is like really showing in some instances, but it's pretty smart in others.
A lot of the cast have gone on to do like really good things. So
yeah,
I'm sure I'll watch it at some point. He was also in a bunch of 60s and 70s stuff I don't recognize or care about, is what I've written. Danny Goldman as Sam Goodell. I think that was the guy that showed him the plastic. He played King Smurf on the Smurfs 80s animated series. He was various background voices in the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries. And this was my favorite bit, Young Frankenstein. The medical student that's like being a piece of shit to him, and then he makes him come down and watch and do the stuff with the guy on the table at the start of the movie. Do you remember this?
It's been so many years, even though I was in the musical.
I was going to say, you should know this. Well, it's that guy.
Okay,
That's
cool.
what I'm getting at. That was cool. Michael Gross as Lloyd Ventrix, appropriately named. He's a very gross man, very gross character.
Boo to you, Jamie.
Thank you. He plays Alfred Mosby, Ted Mosby's father on How I Met Your Mother. And he is Burt Gummer in the Tremors movies and TV series, which was apparently a main running character, but I don't know those. I don't know that franchise at all.
A hell of a last name, I'll tell you.
Burt Gummer. Ken Howard as Hartness, who I also don't know who that is in this episode. Maybe the security guard, maybe another guy at the lab. I don't know. I should know these things. I don't. Hank Hooper on 30 Rock. Several episodes of Murder, She Wrote, but always has different characters. And a bunch of older stuff like Dynasty, Bonanza, Manhunter, Golden Girls, etc.
Sweet.
Chuck Olson as security guard. That's probably that guy who really had to take a shit. His only other acting credit is a movie called A Touch of Scandal, 1984. He played a councilman. That's
a porno, probably.
Yeah, it didn't say that on IMDb, but I'm thinking so. We have Brock Peters as Lucius Fox, Jean Smart as Helen. You know Jean Smart. You've seen her and stuff. You'd recognize her face. She voices the Depression Kitty on Big Mouth. I don't know if you've watched any of that.
Oh, yeah.
She is Lori Blake on the Watchmen HBO series. That was a very good show. If you should watch that at some point. She plays Kim Possible's mother, Ann Possible, on Kim Possible. She plays Phoebe's mother on Hey Arnold.
Hell yeah.
And probably her most notable credit for old people is she was in 120 episodes of Designing Women as Charlene Stillfield. Our last cast member is a segue into trivia because this has always
James Bond.
Extremely interesting to me. No.
James Bond.
No. So Elizabeth Moss as Kimmy. Elizabeth Moss played a character named Peggy Olson in Mad Men, Zoe Bartlett in The West Wing, and she is the main character, June Osborne, in The Handmaid's Tale.
She was also in Mad Men and The Invisible Man. What did you say? She was in Girl Interrupted? Who was she in Girl Interrupted?
I don't know. Stop looking things up. You're skipping ahead.
Oh, she was Polly.
So what just came out of your mouth that's interesting, Brian?
Girl Interrupted?
No. She's in The Invisible Man.
Oh, shit. Hey!
So I have no idea. So she would have been like a little kid recording this Batman episode.
Yeah.
But this was, a recent movie a couple of years ago, The Invisible Man. And I have no idea if there is a connection there, if the person who cast her in the movie knew this, if she remembered this and wanted to be in the movie. I want to interview her and ask her this one question. It's perplexing to me that she's the little girl in the Invisible Man episode of Batman, and then she's the main character in the Invisible Man. I don't get it.
I mean,
I need to know.
I'm willing to bet this wasn't the connection, but maybe she remembers.
It just seems like way too coincidental to not be on purpose. But if it isn't on purpose, then what the fuck? I bring this up, Maddie's probably rolling their eyes listening to this, because I bring this up so often. I've done it around Maddie so many times. I'll be like, oh, but did you know this thing about Elizabeth Moss was in this and then she was in this? Isn't that so fucking weird? And I don't know, it's just it boggles the mind, Brian. I don't get it.
You should watch the Vsauce episode on coincidences.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's actually really good.
It'll tell me how I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Okay, so trivia.
Trivs.
At the jewelry exhibition, construction is misspelled constrution on a warning sign.
Didn't see that.
You were reading all the goddamn signs in this episode and you missed that one.
Jamie, I messed up.
Jamie, that's all I got to say. In the opening scene, the 7 o'clock movie shown on the Galaxy Drive-In's marquee is The Invisible Man, 1933. However, letters are missing, so it reads Isblema.
Oh, maybe that's why I didn't see it.
That's why you missed it. Michael Gross, the father, and Jean Smart, the mother, will return to play other DCAU parents.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. According to director Dan Reba, Ventress is visually based on James Woods. We will experience the actual James Woods later as part of this podcast.
Really?
We will.
He's coming on the podcast?
Yeah, sure. I hope so. That'd be cool. He has nothing else to do, right? Probably, our guest list grows exponentially. We have Dylan Pollock and Keen Machine, then Dan Reba, and then oh my god, we had James Woods on the podcast suddenly. The villain's name is spelled Ventrix with an X in the credits, but pronounced Ventris in the episode. According to Dan Reba, the name Lloyd Ventress comes from the original Mirror Man, Floyd Ventress, from 50s comics.
Nice. Well done,
Dan.
Dan.
Bad guy that did mirror-related crimes. So there you go. In an earlier draft of the script, I couldn't confirm this, so I don't know if this is true. But Kimmy was going to be dragged along during the final chase scene, and the invisibility suit was in danger of exploding before Batman could save her. This plotline was scrapped because of censorship rules against showing child endangerment. And even though I don't know if that's true, I wouldn't doubt it based on how he starts up the invisible car, and then we cut for no reason, basically, to Kimmy going, "Oh, away. Mommy, I'm home," and then cut right back to them fighting. Like, we have to show that the girl got away and got home or whatever.
Dude, censors ruin everything, right?
And she fell into water, and she was fine.
200 feet below.
Yeah, oh my God. And they're like, "Oh, no, we can't do that. That's too, that water won't actually save you if you're a child. You're too small." Or something. There's something with science there. Right?
That is how science.
The science. The material being cited as affecting a person's sanity is likely a reference to the Invisible Man, who himself went insane due to a chemical he used in his formula. That
what?
Would make... I guess that's part of the movie, the original movie. I guess. I've never seen it.
We should watch that.
We should watch it. I'll add it to the list.
Nice.
Let's see what movies we have on our list of movies that we're supposed to watch together.
Snatch.
The Invisible Man. That's added to Snatch, Roger Rabbit, Smart House, Jungle 2 Jungle, Gremlins 2, both Kill Bills, Baby Driver, and On Her Majesty's Secret Service. There we go.
That's a good list.
Now we've
probably.
It is a good list. We should do a whole podcast episode on just that list of movies. Watch all 10 of those movies. Noted Bruce Timm. An Invisible Man works really well in animation, even better than it does in live action. We have total control over the scene. We can do things that would take zillions of dollars to do in live action.
Fair point.
Such as a head flying across the screen and slamming into a telephone pole or whatever.
Okay, that was funny as hell.
Yeah. That was like one of those moments that wasn't necessarily supposed to be funny, but it was pretty funny.
It was very funny.
So about this being the 15th produced episode.
Tell me.
Originally, the episode's production number was assigned to an episode entitled The Count and the Contessa, often inaccurately referred to as The Count and the Countess, but according to John Trumbull, who is a DCAU historian kind of guy, and he drew some of the coloring books back in the day.
Okay.
He's interviewed a ton of the folks that worked on the show. I couldn't remember who he said told him this, but it was someone important, that it's actually Contessa, not Countess. But anyway, Bruce Timm sent it to a Japanese studio for complete pre-production work as an experiment. He thought it would free up the in-house staff's time for better shows. The overseas studio took months to produce even character designs and a partial storyboard, and those were drawn in a style too off-model to be usable. Production on the first season was nearing an end, and with a troubled script and unacceptable pre-production work, the episode was killed. When this episode, the one we just watched, See No Evil, was completed, it was assigned the lower production number that was now left empty. So, according to Dan Reba, this may have been the 65th of the original 65 episodes ordered by Fox, and it was just given the old number because it was empty and they had to fill it with something.
That's some bureaucratic mayhem right there.
Yeah, a little bit. And it winds up being like you figured this out when you looked at the DVDs. It's on disc 2, is that right?
Disc 2.
So, yeah. So it was like way back there with all these earlier stuff that we watched.
But not episode 15.
No, episode it was episode 17. Yeah. I said that. I was like, I think it's episode 17 on the DVDs. You're like, why do you know that? Like, I don't know. I shouldn't, but I do.
I shouldn't have asked because that's just what you do.
Yeah. Here's what Dan had to say about the production when I asked him recently. We sent Count and Contessa to Japan to have them fully do the show. The guy assigned choked. He was a mentor of mine, but he was going through some stuff I was unaware of. He had the show for months, nearly a year, and was decided to pull it from him. At that point, they also decided to kill the script. It just didn't feel enough like our show. So they found the money to re-script and board here. In the writer's room, Marty Pasco said a thing completely unironically that we all remembered forever. When the idea of an invisible man was suggested. An invisible man? We've seen it 1,000,000 times. He did, however, turn in a great script.
It was a good script.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I've wondered what the Count and the Contessa episode was about. And rumors over the years was that it's the episode where Batman becomes a vampire that we've talked about, but that has been debunked. But the only explanation of the plot that we've ever been able to find was on a Dan Reba appearance on Batman the Animated Podcast. He said that it was about like a spoiled heiress that's, whatever. so apparently it must not have even been good enough for him to remember what it was about. It's this like infamous missing, lost Batman episode, The Count and the Contessa, The Count and the Countess, whatever you want to call it. But nobody knows what it was about, so we may never know.
It's the best episode.
It was so good, they had to get rid of it. But yeah, that's all the trips.
Good trips.
Thank you. Decent episode. I don't think it's making top 10, but not for me anyway.
I think you could put it in place number 2.
Place number 2?
Yeah.
What? Oh, because On Leather Wings is there? I see. That's a good one.
We got to dethrone.
I wish I still had that sound effect. I don't.
You can just say it.
Nabber Jason Zugi is what the title of this document is.
You have to change
just
that.
Deteriorated over time. Batman's usefulness in this episode, Brian.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Batman's usefulness, Brian. We have a system to follow.
He was useful.
He was useful.
He did good.
The only time that he was a bumbling idiot this episode was when he pours paint on the Invisible Man and then watches him do a monologue for 10 minutes and then tries to jump on him as soon as he's invisible again.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing it.
That was amazing.
I thought that scene happened way later in the episode because I was like, oh, Batman knows how to defeat him pretty easily and just doesn't.
Yep. Nope. Yeah. I will give Batman a 7.8 on the useful scale. Really obvious footprints in concrete that you also could have used to target your
determine the location
of your nemesis and then miss out of 10.
I'm torn between two ratings here. Like number wise, I'm going to give Batman an 8.3.
Okay.
But I'm torn between 8.3 bladder infections and security guards out of 10, or 8.3 front halves of cars flying through the street, flying through train tracks out of 10.
Just combine them, man.
Bladder infections in cars.
Yeah.
Batman trying to tackle that security guard. You'll get a bladder infection. Go to the bathroom. I don't care. I need to see my daughter. Why'd you lock the bathroom? Oh
I want the new, what is the name of the Earl?
Cooper.
The mechanic show.
Jump on the mechanic wagon?
Jump on the mechanic wagon. I need like a jump on the mechanic. How do I not remember that? Dear God. I am hanging on by a thread. Not drunk. I did drink a lot of wine.
Tired and buzzed.
Tired and just tired. But I have a belly full of wine, so that's the thing. I want to jump on the mechanic wagon version of this security guard's life.
Yeah, it is very car related. Maybe we'll get one.
I wonder if he has like bladder problems and he like needs to like frequently use the bathroom.
Like a look on his face.
Really
like, oh my
did.
God, come on,
Poor
man.
guy. We've been there.
Yeah, filming in a warehouse, standing there.
Oh God.
Keen effects in this episode.
Flashlight was pretty keen.
Yeah, the flashlight in Batman's mouth.
It did a lot of things.
I like the folders, the light. And I
like that we just started doing that like in tandem. This song, however, is like light.
Which light folder do I
Certainly Dylan Pollock is going to also say that in the light. I don't know if he's back to service. We might not be hearing from him this week.
Why?
I have special information that he's in upstate New York.
Maybe he'll send us an OG bad audio quality Dylan Pollock message.
God, I hope so.
I hope so too.
What other keen effects? Just Batman fighting an invisible dude and disembodied head flying through the air.
I guess the suit's like glowy blueness was kind of cool when
Yeah.
he's changing and whatever. They didn't quite. That's not how that works kind of thing. I didn't want to wait for the whole thing. He's like, we're explained that, at least in the synopsis, it explains that the plastic turns in, bends light or whatever, but he's moving things around like watches and jewels and stuff. But when he touches the briefcase, it just also turns invisible. I don't think he had the plastic on the briefcase. I guess maybe he did. But then did he cover an entire car flush with plastic? Like what?
There's some really good plot holes that you bring up there. Because like the car didn't look like it was covered in plastic like him.
No. It was like just looked like a car, but then when it's driving down the street, the stuff's like smashing into it as if it's breaking the thing off, like
peeling it off. But then also started
so
peeling off underneath Batman, who wasn't getting hit with the stuff. I'm confused.
Yeah, Batman's hitting the window at the Batarang and then unbreaking the window and then breaking it again.
Oh, that wasn't in your trivs. He hits the glass, it breaks. He pulls his hand up, it's unbroken.
Ah, shit.
And then he hits it again.
I better fix that real quick. Oh, I changed my mind again. Break it.
Sometimes I wish I could do that to broken things.
I guess the invisible car doesn't have like Super Friends invisible plane logic where you can just see Wonder Woman floating inside of it or whatever. You can't see the Invisible Man just sitting down the street.
Well, maybe you could, but he was wearing his invisible suit.
That's true, yeah. But yeah, so he like stole enough to make a suit, but then he also somehow had enough to cover the whole car. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't
Whatever.
matter.
Moving
None of this
on.
matters. Yeah.
Books or hip hop?
Books or hip hop. I don't know. This kind of felt hip hop to me, especially because I think it helped you were playing a bunch of hip hop beats.
Yeah.
Funky fresh.
DJ Bad Boy Brick.
DJ Brother Broderick.
There you go.
On the mic. And I don't think we're putting on the top 10.
No. Didn't we already say that?
But it's not a bottom 10 either. It was just fine.
It was a good episode.
Good. It's pretty good, but it didn't wow us,
It wowed me a couple times, but not top 10 wow.
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 It's Lightning McQueen here. I'm from Cars.
That yacht. That one small extra yacht put it over.
We drop
What we drop?
our weekly yacht
Oh yeah, those.
into the comment box. There sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
mad.
Too bad we're all
At least I am.
just Dylan Paula.
Nice. First.
First.
It's like when you get 3 people commenting first on the YouTube comments.
Yeah, the battle for first begins this Saturday. I like how we have Kimmy singing on the Kimmy episode. It's just coincidence because it's Kimmy's always singing on the. I added the thing to the start at whoever's request.
Yep.
I don't remember. Oh shit! Just say something. Say anything. Okay, so there were some missing emails last time. The email inbox is being kind of funky right now. So I'm gonna play some that we didn't get to play last time, and then I'll play this time. Okay, does that sound good?
It sounds it sounds good.
Okay, we got Day of the Samurai or Lava 2 Electric Boogaloo from Keen Machine. Yeah, it's a Batman song.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
This episode's got it all.
Welcome to Tokyo. Being cat happy with you.
Yeah.
Music delightful as welcome to Tokyo.
Get it.
This is all of subtropical climate here in Tokyo. 55 inches above rainfall every year.
Konnichiwa. I'm not
Konnichiwa.
actually in Japan, but Batman was, so I'm playing along. It appears we have another lava-themed episode this week.
As much as I like the concept of a Batman in Japan, and I enjoyed the landscape artwork,
I've come to realize that I just don't think I enjoy BTAS episodes as much that take place outside of Gotham City. Plus, the ninja is so extra, with his constant maniacal laughter to remind the viewer how evil he is. But I will say, what I did enjoy was getting to see Alfred have 3 sets of outfits on this trip. He deserves it. Also, the whole not trading the bad guy a bogus map because honor is such an unfortunate code of ethics, especially for the hostage. Anyway, keep it keen.
Thank you for the upbeat music. I needed that.
Yeah. Is that an actual song? I'm just going to assume it is.
If the person, whoever sent in the next voice message, if you could retroactively add happy hardcore music to your voice memo, that'd be great.
Oh, well, the next email in line was your test that just says PP. So that's on you now.
What an ass.
Purple Fear sends in a message, Day of the Samurai. I wanted to start emailing this show months ago, for BTAS was one of my favorites growing up, even though I was born in 1999. VHS bootlegs. I even wanted to give a message on the Almost Got Him episode, and then the next thing I knew, it was a few months later, and I never sent anything. Whoops. Anyways, time to fix this issue. First off, when Batman is on the Joker's electric chair and his response is to just say nothing, a powerful moment. It's like he knows he's going to die, and instead of crying or yelling at his arch nemesis, he just accepts his death with dignity. Very Buddhist. I think he learned it from his martial arts master. Now on to the episode we're actually talking about. Unless I sent this after you recorded it, this episode is okay. I don't like how the plot relies on a character being built up to a badass and then doing literally nothing at all but be kidnapped. At least he does stuff later in a different show, but regardless, I sort of forgive that for the ending. Which episode are we talking about? Oh, she does stuff. She's talking about Kairi Tanaga, the girl that did nothing in this episode. Okay. Holy shit, the ninja being like, ooh, shit, lava? I'm just going to stand here and die. Fucking badass. Enough said. He didn't even scream or anything. He just dies. Even in Minecraft, you go oof when you get burned to death. But Mr. Ninja, he just dies. No sounds, just dying. Badass.
Yeah.
Also, a samurai doesn't wear a mask? Wrong. So wrong. The samurai were assholes who pretty much used their status to do whatever they wanted. Even the idea of honor was made up. It wouldn't be unheard of for a samurai to just dishonorably stab one of their teammates with a short blade, leave, and then join an enemy clan who'd naturally accept a turncoat to their side. Samurai were assholes, kind of like Batman. I probably won't have as much interesting to say about the next one, but still looking forward to emailing and listening to more of your stuff. Keep it up, Flump. Signed Flump.
Thanks, Flump.
Thanks, Flump. Wait, are you Purple Fear or are you Flump? Give us the real info here. We have Scarloy. Jump on the Mechanic Wagon, episode 6.
Hello, listener, and welcome to Jump on the Mechanic Wagon. I'm your host, Scarloy1. In this episode, I will tell you about Season 1, Episode 6 of Earl, the animated series, The Invisible Van. One evening, Earl was walking home, and when crossing the street, he bumped into a parked van, but the van was invisible! On further inspection, he was able to find the door handle, and when he opened it, the van became visible. When he looked inside, he discovered it was full of cans of food from Yoppie Foods.
Hey.
Oh my god.
I'm starting to notice the episodes of ETAS always line up with the episodes of BTAS that air around the same time.
ETAS?
Anyway, see you next time. Same pee-pee time, same poo-poo channel.
Thank you, Scarloy. In the future, can you also please take the microphone out of your mouth? That would be great. It's very overpowering.
I think it's just a bad mic.
I don't know.
Thing.
I think it's in his mouth. I think he puts a phone in his mouth and speaks.
Oh.
You know?
Interesting choice.
I think it's artistic.
Okay, yeah.
But we have no room for art on this podcast. So please stop. No, it's
Earl.
I like Earl on the end.
Earl the animated series. That's what I was
is what
thinking
you were
of.
trying to think.
Yeah, I knew the jump from the... Anyway.
I know. Jump on the Mechanic Wagon, I think, is the name of the podcast.
Yeah.
Earl the Animated Series is the name of the show.
Correct.
We got to get our shit together.
I know.
This is from Tim R. Feedback. Jimmy John's and Barbaritos.
Hey.
I'm not even going to try to cram all the feedback from the past few episodes I've missed into this email. Thanks. Because as the ancient proverb goes, ain't nobody got time for that. My thoughts on See No Evil are pretty basic, really. I remember as a kid feeling like it was a bit of a ho-hum filler episode, as Batman wasn't fighting one of the iconic rogues, just some guy. As an adult, though, I get a little more out of it. Not that it's a great episode, but in TV tropes terms, it's a lot more adult fear. Maybe I've seen too much Law & Order SVU, but Ventress's obsession with his daughter, his ex's utter contempt for him, it's not a wholesome Paul Rudd and Ant-Man being an ex-con waiting to be a part of his daughter's life. Ventress is not a sympathetic guy, and I get the impression he's more than just a lowlife. He's creepy. A creepy man. Yeah, we got that.
We had several comments like that through the run of the episode.
Yeah, just like, maybe don't. Also, before I sign off, let me just say, my dudes, the storyline finale, Batman and Harley Quinn, just take all the praise I threw at you for that Poison Ivy video and multiply it by 10. As someone who's been a lurker for years and watched it unfold in real time, what you were able to do and pull off, you stuck the landing. There was never any doubt you would, but you did. The creativity and talent of the whole Watchtower Database team was on display, and the passion is just self-evident in the fact that you made the damn thing. Well done, and it ultimately being a lead into what it's led into. I salute thee, all of thee, Tim R. Thank you, Tim. It's always a little weird for me to read that stuff out loud because I'm like, yes, and then it was so good, and I'm James, I'm reading this. But thank you, Tim.
It's nice to hear.
I will say, the Zeta Month prologue is out now to go watch, so if you haven't seen that, it's 17 minutes of nothing but story, and I want you to watch it because it took a long time, and it's good and stuff. But I know the story stuff isn't for everybody, and so it's a little low on the views, but almost every single comment on it has been just this like ridiculous praise of everything and how good it is and all this stuff. So I thank you everybody that has done that, and I don't get to say that in videos because it's Zeta Month for the next month, so I won't get to express this publicly unless you're listening to the podcast. You're listening now. So if you're hearing this, thanks. And go watch it if you haven't watched it.
Okay, I'll go watch it.
You can, technically, but you should watch Batman and Harley Quinn first. 99% of it. This is from Keen Machine. Greetings, Bames and Dryan. Hopefully the email embargo has been lifted by now. This is my second least favorite episode of the entire series.
Wow!
We haven't gotten to my least favorite just yet.
Oh,
the worst part is
what?
the invisibility cloth. Yeah, I wonder what it is. The worst part is the invisibility cloth is somewhat important to continuity, so you can't just throw this episode out altogether like you could, say, The Underdwellers, which has no bearing on the DCAU. Unfortunate. I will never understand what the writers were thinking when coming up with this episode, but I can try. ...
Bring it, Keen.
Alright, everybody, we need some fresh ideas for this week's BTAS episode, so tell me what you got.
We could bring the Riddler back.
Nope.
What about Diet Riddler?
No. We can do another Penguin episode. No. Hey, you in the corner with the hoodie, what about you? What do you got?
A strange dad gets out of prison, steals invisibility suit, violates restraining order, tries to kidnap his daughter. Face is way too detailed in comparison to everybody else, even though we barely see him.
I like it. Add in that anything he touches also somehow turns invisible. An entire car?
Oh, and let's have Batman attack a random scientist. Perfect, the kids will love this. Take it to print.
I've always hated this episode. Keep it keen.
I mean, yeah, it does have all that stuff, but it was entertaining. I don't know.
I love that synopsis.
If this is your penultimately least favorite episode, I want to know what that doesn't really work that way, but I want to know what your ultimate least favorite episode is.
Me too.
Our last message comes from Scotty Cameron.
Scotty.
The Onigiri Touch, which is what I named the last episode. Hey, Yoppie dudes, great show as usual. Thank you for discussing the ACOM video I sent to you. I knew you might find it interesting because it delved into the history of ACOM and how it gives insight into the production quality of their episodes. It is funny that ACOM has particular notoriety within the fan communities of comic book cartoon fan community for their animation work. They animated episodes of X-Men, the animated series, G.I. Joe Extreme, and Transformers, and their episodes are infamous for animation errors. Watching that video puts many things in perspective and can make one more sympathetic to ACOM. I think we agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. See No Evil is a strange episode in my view. This Invisible Man villain feels like a knockoff of the Spider-Man villain, The Blank. I never thought of Lloyd Ventress as having the likeness of James Woods. I had remembered him just looking like the Jazz Man. Yeah, I guess he looks Jazzmanish. Then on my rewatch, I didn't see the Jazzman resemblance. I guess it was a long time since I saw the episode. It's fitting that I've made Saw references because the 2020 Invisible Man movie that featured Kimberly Ventress was written and directed by Lee Winnell, who wrote the first 3 Saw movies. Okay, that's cool. Lastly, I wanted to thank Jamie, Maddie, Dylan, Mark, and anyone else who voted for Underdwellers. Did you see this? The DCAU
Scotty
podcast?
sent me a message on Twitter being like, hey, you should go vote for this. And I looked at this and I was like, I'm absolutely not going to vote.
You didn't vote at all?
No, I was looking at it. I'm like, I can't single any one of those out.
The Underdwellers won by like 2%, I think.
So
now, and then it's just an image of it was some character holding a gun at the screen. I can't remember which one. And it just says like Underdwellers voters, where you at or something. Now they have to discuss it. But I respect Brian's reasoning for not partaking in the ploy.
There we go.
And in the end, it didn't even matter because Underdwellers still won the poll. It's fitting that you reviewed Day of the Samurai, and DCAU Review is going to review Underdwellers because Coyote Ken and Sewer King both appeared in Batman's Nightmare in a TMNT crossover. It all comes together nicely. Anyway, stay Yoppie, Scotty. Yeah, they do both appear in this panel that I'm not going to show you because it's got other spoilers in it. So fuck off, okay, Brian?
Okay.
I will. We got GCN Musical Minute from Jordan Blumen.
Bring it, Jordan.
Welcome to GCN, Gotham City News with Jack Ryder. Tonight's top story, Batman was seen flying around the streets of Gotham. And here I thought only Metropolis had those kinds of problems. Am I supposed to know about that yet? I don't know. Is that an anachronism? Does it matter when the whole series is anachronistic? I've lost my mind. Now over to the music. I thought that the motif for Mojo / creepy dad stalker character was appropriately creepy. Frankly, this is the most disturbing episode of the series to me personally. I always hated it as a kid. I hate it now. I did not enjoy rewatching it. I did notice one bit of Mickey Mousing in the music where the music mirrors the action on screen. It was when Batman throws the paint at the invisible guy and it goes da-da-da-da-da, like with the music. And
nice.
Yeah, I didn't like it. See ya.
When you said Mickey Mouse, so we didn't talk about the music really at all, and we had a handful of moments I think between the two of us, like Batman walking through before he gets toppled, a bookcase on top of him. There's like some very lengthy, like music only, very sparse sound effects that was kind of James Bondy sounding, very like espionage-y. That was cool. And then when you said Mickey Mouse thing just now, I thought maybe you were going to beat me to the punch, but the moment where they're driving the car on the train track bridge and the train is coming, there's like straight out of Beauty and the Beast music. There's
really?
The like villagers headed toward the castle singing the Kill the Beast song. There's a part of the tune that's like dun 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 dun, like that was happening in that part of the show. I was like, what is going on?
I don't know Beauty and the Beast well enough to notice that, but I'm glad that it's there.
Yeah, and just, I don't know, in general, the music was pretty good. It's probably because it's a Lolita Romanis episode.
She's great.
Bro. Scarface Nate, I'm back, boys. Here are my thoughts on Batman versus the Invisible Man.
Welcome back, boy.
Hello, Jim Jam and Brick. It's certainly been a long time. Well, I've been dealing with a lot of personal shit in my life. I'm finally back and I'm ready. So we've had Batman versus the Wolfman, and now we have Batman versus the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Quite fitting given it's October. It's actually one of my personal faves. Okay, maybe not top 10 or anything, but still really good as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
The animation and music is pretty top notch, and I like the voice acting as well. The little comedic moments in this episode and the jewelry stuff is actually kind of funny to me. I like how this episode deals with a more personal issue and not Joker blowing something up for the up-teens time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an instant bonus for me. I like how Batman's shown handling kids in these episodes is actually quite sweet. And the beatdown he gives to the father later is quite rewarding. Stay happy.
Yeah, at the end when he's checking in on the kid, and my thought was like, oh, how nice of Batman. He's always looking after children. And you're just like, Batman's talking to children. like, oh, yeah. Also, was the mom like, oh, yeah, sure, honey, you were talking to Batman. You talked to Batman like 10 minutes ago. like,
yeah, it's kind of a weird.
You talked to him on the street in front of your house. yeah,
just
Batman.
Strangely hypocritical.
Maybe she was just being cute about it, like she knew that she probably was, but she just doesn't. I don't know. I was talking to Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, okay, sure.
There's a lot of stuff that the mom missed there. Just saying, if Aaron ever starts talking to invisible people, like maybe like see if someone's crawling through the window or not.
Nobody come for my child, please. Dylan Pollock says, maybe I'm in the room with James and Brian right now.
It's time for the Thoughts of the Week with Dylan Pollock on See No Evil. Or did the Invisible Man reboot rip off a random BTS episode? Hey, John Belay and Bob Ganoush. So, let's talk about the connections here. You got that paint can reveal. You have Elizabeth Moss.
Yep.
You have technology instead of a potion to become invisible. Is this all a coincidence? I think not. Also, James, you got to ask Stan Reba why Batman felt the need to absolutely wreck that security guard and ruin his whole life. Also, I'm sure you talked about the guests already, but you got Gene Smart and you got Michael Gross, who is amazing in all the Tremors movies as Bert Gummer. So props to Andrea Romano for some serious talent on this one, but that will become much more common further into the DCAU as even more classic actors are brought in. Also, shout out to Batman pulling out a Glock in this one. F the one rule, man. You can't even see this dude. So question of the week. James' favorite part.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite and least favorite one-off villains so far? And why is Boss Biggest your favorite? And why is the Sewer King the least favorite? Obvious.
Oh, man.
Boss Biggest because of his food obsession and Sewer King because he exists.
Yes. Sewer King's got to be the lowest. Invisible Man might be the top. Not in terms of like because he's a creepy fuck, but he's got a cool gimmick. Most of the other like one-off villains are just like random dudes. Like they're not necessarily. There's the werewolf, but I don't count. He's not the top. He's kind of sucked. I don't know. That's probably my answer. Maybe Tigress. Does he count as a villain?
Ooh, semi-villain.
He was evilish for a bit there. He fought Batman.
Yeah, but then he uneviled. I don't know.
He did unevel. Tigress or Invisible Man. He's fought what are the other ones? He needs to fight a Frankenstein. He needs to fight a Dracula. Then he'll have the complete package.
But that's in the Empire and the Empiress or whatever.
Yeah, the Empire and the Empress. Dumbass. All right, we have comments on Day of the Samurai or the Onigiri Touch.
Onigiri?
Onigiri.
Onigiri, there you go.
Let me try this again. We have comments on Day of the Samurai or the Onigiri Touch.
Onigiri.
No, Brian. I was thinking of Jessica Negri, cosplayer. Look her up. You will not be sorry you did. Scotty Cameron says, I think Jamie talking about the Dark Knight Returns and the fight with the mutant leader in specific counts as a spoiler for the new Batman adventures. Well, now it does. You fuck. Fantastic. I returned from the Shadow Realm with new hormones in my blood and new joy in my step.
Oh, woo! Hell yeah.
I had a great time catching up on the episodes of the pod. I missed the Yoppie Mail segment is defo my favorite, but bit still. I just love hearing what the cast of people who follow along with this show. Let's talk about the cast. I have to think about things. I'm stunned by the listener cinematic universe that's forming. I have a new podcast to listen to thanks to Dylan. The new Yoppie Mail opening song is amazing. Thank you, Kimmy. The sunrise jump scares taught me that the Cowboy Bebop opening sounds very similar to the opening of Batman the Brave and the Bold. Yeah, I guess it does. KM, you're not alone in being a Ben 10 mega fan and fan of the pod because I too am that. Trans rights and good night every Yoppie.
Fuck yeah. Can you applaud for that?
I'll let it go the full length. Oh, that was as long as it goes. Tipped Apricot. Apparently, I have a lot of thoughts on See No Evil, so I'll try to keep them short. While I love BTAS, I have to admit it's my least favorite of the DCAU shows, just because I enjoy the story and character complexities that come as the franchise finds its footing and expands later on with different shows. I find a lot of earlier Batman episodes don't engage me as much. However, See No Evil is one of the absolute standouts to me. Oh, so you have opposite Keen Machine opinions. I clicked play, and the second I registered what episode I was watching, I out loud exclaimed, "Oh shit!" It just stuck with me that hard. Brian said that because there wasn't a monkey in the title card. The story is unique and creepy in a way that I feel isn't as common. Oh, and Batman also like beat the shit out of the Invisible Man when he could see him at the end. You were like, this seems like a lot of violence for this show.
He was going for it.
Usually Batman just like swings from a rooftop, kicks somebody one time, and then dodges all their attacks and manages to do a smart thing to stop them. But this time he's just like, oh, here he is. Fuck you. Like, there's no stopping him.
I'm going to take out all of my repressed feelings on you.
I tried to punch Clayface. My fist just went through him, so you get all the Clayface punches too, you fuckhead. That's what maybe Batman, yeah. This guy was after the beloved children. Anyway, the pacing felt good. Everything absolutely hit. The concepts did. And while the animation was funky in parts, I loved how they animated the invisible suit. How it interacted with its environment was just fascinating. So yes, the villain does look like Harvey Dent with eyeliner and acne. There are some weird movements and overlapping frames. But it's truly one of my favorite BTAS eps ever, dealing with a fantastical twist on a very realistic terror. It made me feel both viscerally uncomfortable and fully engaged from start to finish. And yes, I did mean yop last time. Yop till you drop, and the party don't stop, my dudes. Thank you, Tip Tapricot.
Always great to hear from you.
So now you and Keen Machine have to fight, I think.
Or just shake hands.
Oh, that'll work. Scrudge! During the start of See No Evil, I always laugh at the shot of the can getting kicked across the street because I imagine instead of it bouncing, Ventrix is just sprinting after it and repeatedly kicking it. We did say, like, that's a good kick. It went really far.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assumption because it just goes. It just goes and goes and
just
goes.
The same
and like
animation, yeah.
It's either a hurricane is a coming or he is like kick sprinting.
The invisible suit also has like perpetual momentum abilities. Everything that it touches just keeps going like that forever.
There you go.
Moto perpetuo, Brian.
Wow.
Ashley Tutchin, if Gendy Tartakovsky did work on this episode, then they missed an opportunity for an epic crossover episode. BTAS Day of the Samurai Jack. Gotta get back to the past, Bat Samurai Jack. Watch out. Now, that would have been a massive improvement. I'm looking forward to next week's episode because it's an absolute favorite of mine. I'm curious to see what you two make of it, though. I have some pretty personal reasons for liking it, which I'll probably go into next week, so I'm interested to hear some more objective takes on it. Okay.
Is this next episode Australian?
I hope so, and I hope that an Australian invisible man did not stalk you in your youth. And that's the story that you're going to tell.
Wait, the next episode or this episode? What? This is next week, as in the episode that comes after this, right?
Sure. Yeah. Deductionist, what up, James and Brian? Another fun episode as always, even if the animation in the episode is downright terrible at times. Oh, this is talking about the Day of the Samurai. The infamous volcano fight makes me laugh and blows me away that they kept those slaps in with that animation. Overall, just a letdown on the animation front, which is a shame since I thought the premise was a cool story. As I said last episode, I had this as a golden book growing up and read that thing until it was practically falling apart. At the time, I didn't know this was an episode until I saw it later in my childhood. I have strong memories of watching this episode and following along in the book, mostly because the art was better in the book. Looking forward to Brian's take on See No Evil. Feel like he'll find this one very interesting. See you guys next week. Stay yappy.
Very interesting indeed.
Charles Motosierra. Alfred. Well, thank you for the rescue, Master Bruce. But may I ask, how did you beat his heart-stopping touch? Batman. I figured out the heart-stopping touch is delivered where the heart is. Okay, Master Bruce, and what did you do with that information? I put some armor on my chest. Wait, do you not normally wear anything under your costume? Yeah. Master Bruce, are you fucking suicidal? Hey, look, the bat signal. Gotta go. Batman jumps through the nearest window. Yeah, that's a good point. No, he wears gray pajamas underneath this Batman costume, as we've discovered. Mark Aquino. I forgot to mention in my main comment that if you pause the episode at the 10-minute, 30-second mark, there's a sign in the background that says, in Japanese-style lettering, arse. I'm not even kidding. Go back and pause it. I'm surprised the Fox censors never caught that before airing the episode. Okay. Also, I'm planning on listening to Dylan's own podcast, Movies to Watch Before You Die. I'll let you all know what I think of it afterwards. Zane Beatty. Keen Machine, what are we going to do tonight, Dylan? Dylan, same thing we do every night, Keen. Try to take over the podcast. KM. You know, in DC Universe, there's a Green Arrow villain named Brick. So this podcast is one long build-up for Brian's villain origin story. Also, there's a Booster Gold villain named Broderick. Really? And a Doom Patrol villain named Brain. Everything we call Brian is a comic villain name. Even Brian is a kind of villain name. Hulk's abusive father is Brian Banner. All of this can't be merely coincidence, right? Brian secretly pulls all the strings. He's a mastermind behind the Yop Tower database. What if, though? What if you created it?
I am not legally allowed to answer that.
That's true. Also, has either of you watched Primal yet? It recently ended. I don't think there will be a third season. I really liked every episode of the show. It's like a longer version of Samurai Jack, scenes that use visual storytelling instead of dialogue, and those are my favorite scenes of the show. No, I haven't watched it, but I've been meaning to. It looks really good.
Yes, I've watched some of it, and as this is going to sound so lame of me, I have mentioned, I think even today on this podcast, that I'm a vegetarian. And I just can't watch things like the whole, like, you know, is there a dog? Does it die? I can't watch it if like animals get hurt. And there's this one scene in like one of the first episodes of Primal where there's a dinosaur, an animated dinosaur getting like really messed up. And I'm just like, I like walked out. I'm like, I can't watch this.
So you're Catwoman, like you can't see the cats get hurt.
Yeah. That's me.
Oh, well, I'll still watch it because meat's delicious.
It looks it looks great.
Yeah,
it looks really
it is
good.
True that the best parts of Samurai Jack are the like quiet, like CinemaScope scenes of him just standing in a field for 10 minutes and then fighting like in 2 seconds.
Right.
Yeah. I really love See No Evil. I think it's one of the most underrated BTAS episodes. See, Keen Machine's wrong, apparently. It is pretty good-looking animation, especially after a Lapis Azul episode, and a well-written and grounded story who doesn't feature any of the big villains or crime bosses. This is especially impressive since compared to other episodes, this episode features a more sci-fi idea, but manages to present it in a realistic story like others. Batman fights Invisible Man idea could have made an over-the-top and silly episode. That's true. They executed it pretty well.
Yeah.
Scarloe, James, you better read Tigers on the Hunt on the podcast or I will send my henchmen to your house. Okay, not today, though. I got to edit this. Banana Man says, okay.
Okay.
And Dylan Pollock, first, thank you, Brian, for the shout out on the. Oh, this is not a first. This is what the first thing he's saying. Okay. First, thank you first for the shout out and for the support. Can't say enough about how appreciated this is. James, thanks for listening in spirit. You're welcome. I'm still listening in spirit. MVP of last episode is Brian's dog singing along to the flute. Did you listen to the last episode, Brian, yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
I almost did today.
You'll want to stay all the way to the end. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Lastly, Tigers on the Hunt sounds like an 80s band that opened for Poison and partied way too hard. I dig it. I think that technically counts as 2 votes for reading Tigers on the Hunt on the Park. I think this is a new one. Austin Trousers. And the avatar is a pair of pants with Austin Powers' face on it. See No Evil has a one-time appearance villain. Immediate nervous sweating. Okay. Batgirl Fangirl. Nice messages, Scarloe, Jordan, Dylan, Scotty. They all made me smile. See No Evil. I love this one. Keen Machine. I hope the roof of the Ventrix home is in better condition than the rest of the house. Otherwise, Batman will fall through into Kimmy's bedroom at the end. Right. I remember when I was younger thinking that Batman would be stuck in that pose after he fell into the wet cement. Great creepy story that has its necessary lighthearted moments, great voice acting, brilliant music. I enjoyed this episode. Who am I kidding? I enjoy all of them. Keen podcast, James Bryan and the dogs, 5 stars, and 5 locked men's room doors.
I love it.
Lanola Cola, I had hoped the image of Kyodai Ken fingering Bruce would make it in the thumbnail. It did. Damn it. Wency209. This comment has been blocked because the listener could not think of a funny comment to put here. Sorry.
Oh, God.
Ivan Thomas. Oh, my God, a ninja. And at night, Mark Aquino smoke bomb. Never mind. It was a samurai during the day. And Mark Aquino. Ay, caramba. We keep getting cursed with crummy episodes. Despite being helmed by the man himself, Bruce Timm, this episode could have been a decent one had it not been for some of the worst animation I've seen from this show so far. This episode made me pine for the Halcyon?
Halcyon.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's just a word I learned in the 90s. It's been in my head forever.
Mark Aquino keep using words I don't know. Days of ACOM. I should take this as a learning experience. I should learn words from the listener.
Wait, halcyon days? Period of calm during the winter when storms do not occur.
That's what you call the ACOM Renaissance? A sentence no person would ever say willingly, why God, why? Anywho, still looking forward to Zeta Month. Only hot people are looking forward to Zeta Month. Everyone who isn't is ugly, inside and out. All the best to the #1 podcast hosts in this here multiverse of ours. You'll always be my Jamie and brother Brian, Brick Broderick, Brushy, brazenly bribing Brie Larson by the bridge that broke the bride of Brendan Gleeson with a brouhaha of bronchitis-flavored brownies brought to you by Brazil's brightest brigade of brainiac brunettes and brooding broccoli breadwinners who are brimming with bratty brilliance and breathtaking braggadocio Bohemian Rhapsody.
Wow.
Praise to our Lord and Savior Dylan Pollock, his disciples, Scarlo A1, Batgirl, Fangirl, Scotty Cameron, Wency 209, Tip Tapricot, Keen Machine, Banana Man, etc., and all the awesome sauce listeners of this Yoppie community of ours. You all are the best. Never forget that. Until next week, Smoke Bomb.
Smoke Bomb. I thought it was going to be Stay Yoppie this time, but no.
Stay Yoppie. No, it's always Smoke Bomb. Thank you for listening to the episode. There's no beat in this part because Brian doesn't have the thing. Next week's episode is called The Demon's Quest, Part 1. I'm giving you the parts.
You just gave me the
parts. I'm telling you if there's parts. The Demon's Quest, Brian. What's it about?
Green Goblin.
Green Goblin. Got it. Sounds good. Thanks for listening, everybody. Reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of the Cat in the Claw Part 1. You can email us at podcast@watchtowerdatabase.com, and hopefully I'll actually get the goddamn email. You can also send a voice message to anchor.fm/Bat-Wagon. Hey, Arnold! Leave us a comment on today's episode on the Podtower YouTube channel and subscribe for new DCAU podcasts every week. There's us. There's the DCAU Review, which Ted and Maddie and I just recently guest starred on separate episodes. Beware the Grey Ghost and the Captain Clown one.
The leader Rip
The last laugh, I mean. And On Leather Wings, the best episode. New episodes of this podcast are released every Friday on the Podtower YouTube channel, as well as your favorite podcast feed and watchtowerdatabase.com. We'll see you next week for the Green Goblin episode, everybody. The Demon's Quest Part 1. Or the Green Goblin episode.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Bye.
Bye.
Me and Mommy are moving, and even if Daddy gets out of jail this time, he'll never find us.
Kimberly? Who are you talking to now?
Just Batman, Mommy.
Oh, him again.
But he really was here, Mommy.
I know, honey. I know.
Which clip should I play? A Kimmy clip at the start? Oh my God.
I don't know why.
Ground your wires in your home, Ted Kendrick.